Hello and welcome to the next turn of this Dominion5 playthrough with me and other random people on the internet. And yeah, a bunch of stuff. So let's get through the messages because that's basically what this turn is going to be mostly about. There is some big diplomacy going on, so let's see what's happening. Man, okay. Greetings, allies. Know that we, man, have already been betrayed and Miklan has been warned of our machinations against him by parties unknown. We four truly appreciate the threat they present. Miklan is attempting to form a pact with us against Utgard or Pangaea, and is wanting Ulm and Midgard to join as well. We dance with them to stall, but our goal remains their destruction. Miklan stopped our expansion at a swamp and has boxed us in. We are building forces and will have raiding forces ready to enter the lands in the summer, with larger forces to follow in the autumn. Ulm has indicated that they will be ready to attack in the summer, but will not do so alone. Pangaea will only commit small forces to the cause as they are fighting Citus, the world's Babylon. Okay, so a bit to unpack here. Miklan's been warned, which is, who would do that? I'm not sure who would do that. It's actually very worrying. It's very worrying, actually. We know that Miklan has been betrayed and warned of our machinations against them. I can't think of anyone whose motives would be. That's very worrying. I'm quite sure it's not man. I didn't warn Miklan. That really leaves Pangaea and Utgard. Jeez. What I'm also not happy about is that there's a deal of attacking in summer. I'm ready to attack now. I want the attack to happen like today. And Pangaea is only going to commit small forces, and man's going to do raiding forces. Like, this really isn't the commitment that I'm expecting against Miklan to succeed. What does he say? Raiding forces ready to enter their lands in the summer, with larger forces to follow in the autumn. Like, where are we now? We're in this late spring. Late spring in the year of turn 14. Is the next turn summer? Maybe. But yeah, so it's man's rain forces for the summer, and like that's really not like how you like dogpile someone. It's not how you attack someone. It's by like little. You need to go win. Because if I go against Miklan now, like I'm ready to do, all his forces will just come and attack me and fight me, and like that's just gonna end poorly for me if I'm fighting his forces by my own. Not promising. Okay, Miklan. Yes, I think the Jaguars will be ready to attack. Utgard is moving also troops along our border, so if he turns aggressive, I'll need to call some of the Jaguars from the front. Some of the Jaguars from the front. Like, this is how strong Miklan thinks he is. He feels like if Utgard attacks him, he'll only have to divert some of his forces, not all of them. As for the throne you speak of, if you take it first, it is yours. If we do, it's ours, but we have no plans to take it. And it looks like you have a good bit of heavy cav ready to do so. I mean, this was kind of my get out of jail free card. Like, oh no, you didn't allow us the throne province. The non-aggression pact's null and void. I get to attack you now. Slimy as fuck, but that's what I was there for. Pangaea, yes, I can send raiders when I see your attack. Let me know when you attack so I know the war's begun. Like, this is bullshit, right? Oh jeez, we have to work together to take Miklan down. We can't just be like, oh, I'll wait for you to attack and then I'll, help a little bit. Like, that's how I get screwed over. And then Utgard, Miklan established another fort at Tedious Fields. Perhaps the nation of Pangaea should direct its attention to Miklan if we are auto-coordinated strike. Yeah, I was looking at someone else. The messenger also informs you that the message that was sent to the council that includes Ulm, Midgard, and Pangaea. Yeah, I don't know how to send a message to more than one player. Daz has got it down. Maybe he's using the mod. I don't know how you do it. I tried having a look. I can find it. We agreed to participate in a strike and would like to inquire who else is on it. This means that in 2 months, Utgard will attack Miklan from their eastern frontier. In 2 months. It's 2 turns. Like, what have you been doing, son? Time to act has come. No, the time to act is now. Look, I have to do something. I've got these forces here. And they're ready to go. You can't just sit on armies and not use them. Armies have they're a resource and they need to be productive. They need to acquire lands in a productive fashion. Damn, he's also in the war though. Rain Warriors. They're a nasty unit too. Appears to be commanded by the King of Rain, who radiates power. Interesting. Let's look at the Hall of Fame. Hey! I'm at dubious here. That's the thing. 26 kills. That's quite a lot compared to everyone else. And what has everyone else been doing? Dwarf Comic, is that to be? Okay, so Utgard seems to be the most involved in moving against Miklan, having some forces at the border. Miklan's got some concerns about that. Daz has got raiders that he'll use. Pangir is going to do bugger all, and Miklan's too big for me to take on by myself. Look how big he is. He's too big for me to take on by myself, and everyone else just seems so non-committal. Like, I'm really unimpressed. And that's the answer, right? That's the answer. Miklan will direct his aggressions towards someone, and then that someone will be committed, and then I might be able to come and help them. But in the meantime, it's like I gotta tell you, I've been thinking about this decision for days, and I've flip-flopped on it so many times. But I really get the feeling that everyone else is just so non-committal. They don't want to fight Miklan. They're just like gambling or hoping he isn't going to attack them. That's the decision, right? This is a juicy province and it's free, and my guys are here, and I'm going to take it. Like that's how this works. So to everyone else, to Utgard, Pangir, and Man, when you're watching this video in the future, understand where I'm coming from. I don't know what Utgard has. If I had an idea of what he was going to be attacking with, what kind of forces he had, how committed he was to this could go so differently. And I think I made it pretty clear in my previous message that I needed to know what your plans were, what information you had, and I was quite like I said that like a lot depends on the information I get from you, and like it's not enough. I just Miklan is too big and strong for me to take this gamble with everyone else to fight him. Like he's too strong for me to take that gamble. I'm going to try and make friends with him. I have a peace treaty with Pangir, which I'm totally betraying. But I'd just like to point out that in the previous game, in Middle Ages, Pangir basically did Sacred Rush on me and fucked me over, so I'm only feeling a little bad about being a slimy asshole. Only a little bad. But it's gold. And you know what makes everyone happier? Gold. And it's a nice free province. Okay, let's talk about everything else that's going on. Yeah, you can attack both people at the same time. That's the worst idea. So he's going to go here and take the province. When I get here, very strong province defense. So I want to go in with my Prophet's cavalry force to take that throne, which obviously I want to take. And this guy will take this on, or I join up and see what happens next to. But there, go from here. There are 3 provinces I can go for, which I'm very interested in. That's that. You're willing to palisade. You're blood hunting. Jeez, I want to. So we have to get someone to collect those blood slaves. Okay, before I play out the turn, let's go through the other events. Enchantments, so that's good. Some thrones were claimed. Let's talk about this. Has found a magic site in Stinkbar, because this is the first gate. This starts a storyline, and if you click on markers and you can go, it's investigate event and magic event, and from what I can tell, I don't really understand the storyline event here at the first gate. It involves more gates popping up and demons coming out, and from what I can tell, it's just bad. I'm hoping that if I ignore it, it goes away. Like, I'm hoping it's just not a problem if I just ignore it. If I don't do anything, I don't touch it, it'll be fine. That's what I'm hoping. I did read some horrible comments about how blood mages can get sucked into it. I don't know how true that is, or if that's just been investigated or something, but I don't think it's a risk worth taking. More blood slaves there, blood slaves there. So I've got a healthy bunch of blood slaves going on. And of course in Sanguine Heritage. So that's next vampire coming out. So where do I fly him to? You're basically looking for provinces with more than 5,000 people, but your lowest income. And I think that's...
Market data connection lost.
I think that's Dark Wisteria.
Trading connection lost.
Oh, jeez. My computer's freezing up a bit. There's something slightly wrong with my
Trading
installation.
connection re-established.
It should come right. There's something wrong with my installation.
Market data connection re-established.
I think screwed up a little bit, so I'm going to talk for a little bit, and hopefully the game comes back soon. So, shit.
Market data connection re-established.
I'm gonna have to edit this out. This is such a fucking ball ache. Okay, am I back? Hey! Maybe I'll edit it out, maybe I won't. I probably won't because I'm lazy.
Trading connection lost.
Oh, for
Market data connection lost.
What's happening is I've got another program on my computer that's forcing me to Alt-Tab, basically, and...
Trading connection re-established.
I'm gonna have to cut this out.
Market data connection re-established. Market data connection re-established.
Okay, and I'm back. Sorry about that. So basically, there's this event here. I just want to leave it alone. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't think anything good can come from it. So I want to move him away from the province just because I think there's a small chance that things go horribly, horribly wrong and he gets sucked into it and dies, and I don't want that. So, I mean, otherwise I would rather him just bloodhunt, but instead I'm going to move him over here and he can bloodhunt there when he gets there. That's okay. Okay, so let's figure out what I'll be doing. Ruprecht. Okay, you can make it there as well, so you can join up the split forces. I wonder if he by himself can get to this province, because that might be interesting. That might be an option. No, he still can't. Okay, so he'll join up with my prophets with these reinforcements, which is fine. I'm building a palisade here. That's where most of my gold is going. I want to build a palisade here as well. I mean, a lab, but don't have the gold, so he's just gonna do a blood hunt, which is definitely inefficient. Let's move the spies. The spies are good. Spies is what gives us the information. You can stay there. I think that's fine. That's these jaguars are, right? It's a big jaguar army here. Another fortification under construction. Fortifications under construction in this province. He's building so many forts. He's a monster. Like, we have to move together to just like thump on him, but it's not happening. People just aren't committed to this. Like, it's a big problem. Like, it's a big problem. Like, I needed Pangaea to move against McLaren. I needed him to. Like, yeah, but too involved as it is. Yeah, I lost the spy here. Was there a battle? Yeah, that's a battle. Let's see what. Whoa, hang on. Let's just have a look at the battle here, because that might give us some information. These are a lot of slaves. It's got priests, yeah, blood searching. That makes sense. So yeah, he probably has forces on patrol to keep the blood hunter in check. It's got Amazons. That's probably the province defense. This is probably OPD. And he's probably using the slaves just to patrol, which makes sense. Don't really need to watch anymore. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, forces of the clan, that's all province defense, slaves, travel king. So yeah, patrolling, because to keep the unrest down from the blood hunting. So that's that. Yeah, blood slaves. And then these worldwide events. The Throne of Pestilence spreads its disease throughout the world. I checked Miklan got that throne, gives like death to his dominion, but he doesn't care because he already got maximum death scales. And then something has shifted in the alignment of the worlds. A flux of dark energy can be sent through the heavenly spheres. This can only mean that one of the legendary gates of hell manifests in the realm of mortals. Woe to all, should it be opened? Yeah, that's me. I found it. I don't want to open it. It might open automatically in 9 turns. I read somewhere on the internet. I don't know. Let's hope not. I don't know. And yeah, also recruiting these doobies. Let's get a commander, because I'm going to move them out further, and recruiting rangers here as well, because that's a good idea. I just want to go through scouts that haven't moved. You can go there. Probably try and get into Pangaea's territory more. I also definitely want to have more information regarding to Uga's borders. I'm curious why this province is still not occupied. That's really curious. Okay, so let's try and figure out exactly what I'm doing with everything else. You can stay there, I suppose that's fine. Actually, let's just swamp Pangaea, because it's a lot to learn. Keep the spy there, that's fine. Look, I know what I need to know from here. Okay, so you can take the blood slaves. Go back. You can go there to collect those blood slaves, and then you can take them back. What do you want to do? You can just patrol. That seems fine. You can summon allies. That's what you can do. Thorosmund. 2 wolves. That's fine. Let's use patrolling here. They can definitely use the minions. Collecting some thralls. They're basically useless. Just for patrolling, and you can also use them for siege defense. They cost like no upkeep. So they're pretty good, but I wouldn't use them in battle. So that's everything. Now the question is, who do I tell? What do I communicate? I'm going to communicate with Miklan. I'm going to send him a message. So he needs to... Yeah, he's got heaps of avenues to approach, so I can take this without worry. Why no wait? Excalibur Plains and Ruins of Dasburg. Hey, that's Ruins of Dasburg over there. Ruins of Dasburg. Yeah, I send Miklan a message. Greetings, ally. Oh, that feels slimy. Be advised, we are attacking Pangaea this month. And we suggest that you take Ruins of Dasburg and all provinces south of it. while we take the northern provinces. I'm not really quite sure what else to say. Yeah. So the plan here is basically never to beat Miquelon, just to try and grow faster than him and maybe somehow get 7 throne points. I'm hoping, and look, I'm basically hoping for a change in circumstance. Like, I'm hoping that enough is going to change outside of my sphere of control that's going to allow me to claim thrones and somehow do something sensible. And look, there's this throne here which is I'm gonna get. There's this throne here which I might be able to get, and then these 2 thrones here which are close to my territory as well. So depending on whether or not these are level 2 or level 3 or what, I think that's a level 2 throne. If that's the throne Pangear has claimed, which seems likely. Okay, that's a level 1 throne. That I'm quite sure this is a level 2 throne. So that's 3. And if that's a 2 and a 2, maybe, or maybe another throne over there. But look, it's in the realm of possibility that if enough shit happens elsewhere in the world that I can sneak a win without having to fight Miquelon directly, and that's kind of the plan, because I don't want to fight him directly. Best case scenario for fight Miquelon is some kind of horrible Pyrrhic victory. Let's eat the weaker players. Let's eat the weaker players. I can send a message to Pangear as well. Maybe explain the situation a little bit. Greetings. We are driven to our actions based on the terrifying threat of Miquelon, and based on the commitments, the lackluster, based on the lackluster commitments of our neighbors to deal with this threat, we are forced to grow our lands by other means than destroying ourselves on the bulwark that is Miquelon. We are driven to our actions based on terrifying threats of Miquelon and based on the lackluster commitments of our neighbors. To deal with this threat, we are forced to grow our land via other means than destroying ourselves on the bulwark that is Miquelon. May the new Pancreator have mercy on your soul. Is that spell Pancreator? I don't know. Yeah. His actions bring us little pleasure. Instead, we have joined with him. Instead, we have joined with Miquelon, having no other beneficial options available to us. That's it. Right? I needed you to commit this fight with Miquelon, and it didn't happen. So that's that. We were driven to our actions based on terrifying threat to Miquelon and based on lackluster commitments of our neighbors to deal with this threat. We were forced to grow our land via other means than destroying ourselves on the bulwark that is Miquelon. Instead, we were joined with Miquelon, having no other beneficial options available to us. Oh. So that's that. I think it's my interest that Utgard and Daz are delayed in understanding what I've done. I'll send them a message next turn saying that keep us appraised, that if you are in the fight with Miquelon, let us know what's going on and we might help. Probs not. I get this throne. I can get this throne without fighting Miquelon. This throne's too far away. And it's the throne of pestilence. Yeah, these thrones, if I want to get these thrones for Ascension, it's so far away. When I've got these 3 up here. It's much more viable. Oh boy, there's a lot of talking this turn. There's a lot of talking this turn, but that's the way it is. Research, got some more research going on. How much research do I have now? 81 research per month. I will be able to get enchantment 5 in 4 or 5 turns. Which is very, very sweet. Check unrest. 612. Oh no! I've got no patrol in here actually, that's a problem. I've got enough patrollers here. So Vino. Who do you have, Vino? What's under your command? You can come here and patrol. Where's the blood slaves? And you're gonna go back there. You're the bloodhounds. You're gonna go there. That's fine. And then you're gonna go there. Let's get some more spies because spies save lives. And we got the gold. Okay, it's a long turn. I've talked a lot, but it's a big decision. It's a big, big, big decision. Yeah. Yep. It is what it is. If you can't beat them, join them, huh? That's the turn. So that's the turn. Okay. Well, hope to see you next time. Thank you for sticking around. Okay, bye-bye.